did against them. So we'll have to be good there because they are a good defensive team also.
In the blink of an eye, Tony, 5 rounds of Super League are gone. How do you feel it's gone for the Wolves so far?
Yeah, we're improving. We're improving each week, and that's our ambition. And we're probably a little slow in the first game or so, but there wasn't much between us and the opponents in those first couple of games either. And I think everybody starts a little bit that way, and it all builds up, and you try to find some consistency in form and all those sort of issues. But we're coming together. We've consistently improved for the last few weeks, and that's our ambition. And if we can keep doing that throughout the season, it'll be another exciting season for the Wolves.
Looking ahead to next month, the road to Wembley starts, and it starts off with a tough-looking trip against Wilkinson Rovers. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, anytime you travel over to Humberside, it's going to be a tough trip, and for either team that you play over that way. But certainly on that small pitch at LKR, it's hostile, and the fans get on everybody's back there. It's a really hostile place to go to, and so you've got to be on your game and prepared for a tough battle. And we will once that comes around. That's the start of the Wembley campaign, and everybody gets excited about Challenge Cup, and no less than us. We understand what it takes to get there, and what the excitement involved in the Challenge Cup. So we'll certainly be putting everything into that match, but we've got a few matches to take care of before then. It's going to be a tough game on Thursday, and good luck.
Thank you. Yeah, looking forward to it.
And certainly I am as well.
Should be a cracker, but I've got to pull Tony up here on something. He called Hull Kingston Rovers pitch small. They actually had it extended, so it's full length again now. When they went up into Super League all those years ago, I'll give him it for the 2006. But nowadays it's regulation size, but it's still a hostile place to go, and I certainly wouldn't relish going to Hull. Put it that way. He spoke about some really good things there, didn't he, Tony? And it's nice to hear that Chris Bridge has made it through after having to go off he had to leave the field injured in the previous game. And he's got a place in the 19-man squad.
So he has, hasn't he? And you've got it here right now.
See, this is what we practice for, isn't it, Adrian? Yeah. So the Wolves squad for the game tomorrow evening against Wigan: Roy Asatazi, Ryan Atkins, Chris Bridge, Ben Evans, Rhys Evans, Simon Grix, Mickey Hyam, Chris Hill, James Laithwaite, Joel Monaghan, Michael Monaghan, Richie Myler, Gareth O'Brien, Gene Ormsby, Stephen Ratchford, Glenn Riley, Matty Russell, Trent Waterhouse and Ben Westwood. Obviously there's two of those who won't be selected.
Wow, that's a big headache for Tony Smith, isn't it?
I couldn't pick. I think you can literally stick a cigarette paper between who you're going to leave out.
Rhys Evans and maybe the young lad Riley.
Yeah, possibly Russell might not get a spot either, because where do you put a full-back on your bench? I don't know. Or is he going to even start the game?
Well, we'll have to just wait and see tomorrow night, won't we?
We will, won't we? Yeah.
One player guaranteed to be starting tomorrow night in the game against Wigan on Thursday night. It's Richie Myler, and I caught up with him earlier on today. First of all, Richie Myler, the guy's backing up the win against London with a good win against Salford.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough test going to Salford, and they pose a good challenge. They've been the loudest in the off-season, and they've recruited well, so we knew we had to be on our game, and fortunately for us we was.
Where do you think the key to success came from?
I think, like I say, it's been publicised by Tony. I think the composure and the control by all the boys was great, and I think our defence was good. We, like I said, our control of the game and not trying to score on every play, which was a big point, and I thought we're building quite nicely.
So yeah, building quite nicely, and that builds up nicely for the big game coming up against Wigan.
Yeah, definitely. It's no way to shake a ball. I think obviously games, Wigan Warrington games, are always big ones. The fans get behind it, and the players do too. So it's going to be a tough challenge Thursday night, but one we're all looking forward to.
How do you feel they've started the season?
Pretty similar to us, I think. I think they've had the distraction of the World Cup challenge and getting over that, getting back from Australia and that. So, but I think them two themselves are building nicely, and obviously they're in. It's going to be a big game on Thursday.
And what helps confidence is wins, and I suppose confidence is sky high at the minute.
Well, like I say, we knew we were going to have a tough start to the year. I mean, we had St Helens and Leeds straight off the bat, and them two teams have hit the ground running, and they've shown how they've turned some other teams over. how well they're playing. So I mean, we had a tough start and we weren't quite up to it. So we've rebuilded, refocused, and got back to winning ways and had 3 on the trot.
Now, I'm sure everyone's always going about the fact the last time you played Wigan was in the grand final. Does that bother you guys now?
No, I think it's one of those. I think the grand final will always be a memory I'll always have. I mean, you never want to lose finals. You always want to get there, but you never want to lose them. So unfortunately, it was against Wigan, and like I say, it'll always stay in my memory. But like I say, it's 2 different teams, 2 different sides. They've both got different personnel, so it's going to be a different challenge, and hopefully we can come on the right side of it.
A lot of talk about the Wars as being how have they been able to deal with the loss of Lee Braves. How do you think you guys have gone without Lee in the team?
I think it's fair enough. It is Lee as well. I think there's a lot of we lost 5 or 6 key players to our team last year, and I think that was always going to take time. I think change of personnel, change of the guard as such as you say. But I mean, like I say, it's never great to lose players in the way. Like I say, that are in key positions. It's going to take time to build to a certain position, and I think we're on the right track.
And for yourself, are you on the right track?
Like I say, I've obviously not had the greatest start. The first couple of games was, like I said, pretty poor for me. But no, like I say, hopefully I can build a number of performances, and hopefully I can keep building and get some great performances in me.
And on Thursday, what do you guys need to do to secure the victory?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, obviously Wigan are a great side, a quality side. They've got some great attacking threats, and they're strong in defence as well. So I mean, we're going to have to break them down and defend well as well. I think the defence is the big key. I think both sides are going to go into the game working on the defence, and I think if we can get that right, then the points will come. So no, like I say, we're going to be rearing up to go in this game, and hopefully we can get the win. Hopefully
the fans will be rearing up for it, because they can play a key factor in that as well, can't they?
Yeah, definitely 100%. It's great. I mean, the support is. It does help a lot. I mean, when it's tough, them first 15-20 minutes, and you're blowing a little bit, the support from the fans and the terraces does give you that lift, and it does give you that boost. So no, it's massive for the support. I think obviously that self stand gets rocking when you're at home as well. So hopefully it can do it on Thursday night.
Fingers crossed that'll be the case, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
They have it, Richie Myler, and I tell you one thing: the fans will have to play their part on Thursday. But Wigan versus Warrington. Think any better than that, does it?
It's always a tasty one on the calendar, isn't it? It's probably the first fixture that I look at down the Warrington fixture calendar when it's released at the start of a season. How are they going to beat Wigan? Well, they've got to stop the fullback from running, haven't they? They've got to really clamp Matty Bowen. They've got to bomb him to death as well, because he's obviously shown over the first few weeks of Super League and also in the World Club Challenge. He's not perhaps the best when under pressure on the high ball. They've also got to make sure that the halfbacks are running across field. They don't go forward that much, do Wigan, from the halfbacks. They tend to be passers, so if they can cut off the passing, then they've got every chance of coming up with a great victory.
You mentioned off air as well, if Sean O'Loughlin plays, he gives him a different dimension.
He does, but he only plays in the big games, so there's every chance we might see him.
Thursday, so
every chance we might see him, yeah, and then he'll be missing for the next few, but that's unfortunately he's getting to that stage of his career, isn't he, Sean O'Loughlin, where he seems to be missing a lot more games than he's actually playing. He could probably be up towards the 400 or 500 game barrier now, couldn't he? But for injuries and things happening and what have you, but. Yeah, I hope that he does play, actually, because, I think he's a huge part in what Wigan do, and wouldn't it be nice to keep him quiet?
Hopefully they'll keep the cherry and white fans quiet who are making the journey as well. If you can't get to the match tomorrow night because unfortunately you're in the hospital, but don't worry, you're not going to miss none of the action, because it's live on Radio General from 8 o'clock. It's Warrington versus Wigan, live from the Halliwell Jones. Tomorrow night it's round 6 of Super League 19, and amazingly it's 6th against 8th in the league ladder as it stands.
You wouldn't have thought that, would you, before the start of the season? Both of those teams heavily fancied to finish within the top 4. I still think that they've got every chance of finishing in the top 4. These early weeks of Super League, teams are up there who aren't necessarily going to last the course, aren't they? Obviously everybody's talking about Castleford at the moment and the great start that they've made. I think the bubble's going to soon burst at Castleford. They can't keep this up, surely, and I would tip both Wigan and Warrington to rise up into the top 4 over the next few weeks.
Okay, we mentioned we're Warrington and Wigan now. Hooter Widnes and the rest in the Super League ladder.
Okay, well, after 5 games, St Helens are top, Castleford second, Leeds third, Huddersfield fourth, 5th is Widnes, 6th Warrington, as you mentioned, 7th Wakefield after 2 50-point victories in 2 weeks, and 8th Wigan. Bottom 2 are London Broncos and the beleaguered Bradford Bulls, who just, again, seem to monopolise all the headlines at the moment. And then in 9th place is Hull, 10th Salford, who've really dropped off the form and dropped off the pace drastically. Hull Kingston Rovers and Catalan Dragons, who again just seem to be really beleaguered at the moment. They seem to be having 2 or 3 players in front of the disciplinary every single week, and I noticed that they've just sacked Jamal Fakir as well, haven't they, because he wouldn't play for the reserve side.
Don't blame him.
You know, it's a real it's a real tough. It's always interesting when you mention about relegation coming back into it. All these things are starting to come up and starting to bubble, aren't they?
We mentioned Widnes play Hull on Sunday. We mentioned Warrington play Wigan in round 6 of Super League 19. What are the rest of the fixtures to look forward to this weekend?
OK, on Friday evening it's Leeds Rhinos taking on London Broncos. Easy win for Leeds there, I reckon. Catalan Dragons at home to Huddersfield Giants. That'll be an interesting one, because Catalan do tend to perform a lot better on the home pitch. Sunday sees Hull take on Widnes, like we mentioned. Hull Kingston Rovers host Bradford Bulls. Salford Red Devils are at home to Castleford Tigers. That's a make or break game, isn't it? Early doors this season. And Wakefield Trinity Wildcats, they're at home to St Helens.
It's going to be a big test for both Widnes and Warrington. Good luck for the weekend. Enjoy your rugby league. On the way after us, it's David Quinn with the Wednesday Night Request Show.